Okay, you guys may or may not know this, but I am low-key obsessed with Alex Meyer's channel. So when I saw this video, I thought, shit, I have to read Six of Crows. A couple weeks ago, somebody suggested that I read Shadow and Bone by Leah Bardugo. Is that her name? Bardugo? Leah?
It's Lee, and I'm an idiot.
And then I went home that night and I saw a trailer for Shadow and Bone, and oh man, I watched a trailer and I was like, this looks like generic, but fine. Like, it looks okay. I'll read the book and then I'll watch this show. I'll be able to finish the book before the show comes out. Well, I did finish Shadow and Bone before the show comes out, and let me tell you, didn't love it. But there were a bunch of characters in the trailer that weren't in Shadow and Bone, and I saw on with Cindy, another channel that I'm low-key obsessed with, that Six of Crows is part of the show. Okay, I tried to read Six of Crows. I've actually tried to read Six of Crows 2 times. Third time's a charm.
This is one. Audible Studios presents Six of Crows. Written by Lee Bardugo.
Please be better than last time. Please be better than...
Snyder, Brandon Rubin, Fred Berman.
Was that my doorbell? God, I've just realized something. I've just realized that Shadow and Bone was a trilogy, right? Does that mean this book is gonna spoil stuff from that trilogy? Because that book, Shadow and Bone, not good enough for me to listen to 2 more. I don't care. So I'm going into this only having read Shadow and Bone. I don't know if this spoils stuff, but I will say that like 5 minutes in, they're talking about, this guy's talking about a Grisha, and at least now this time I know what a Grisha is because I read Shadow and Bone. But I mean, I'm starting to remember why I didn't like this book. So I'm about 20 minutes in, and we have the Jost perspective, where this guy, I don't know if we're going to come back to it because there's like 8,000 characters. I think that's something that I didn't love about this book, is that I had no idea who anybody was. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I wasn't paying attention properly. But, so we have this Joe's character who is watching this Grisha slave girl that he likes kind of get tortured, and this kid get tortured, and then it clicked. I remembered, after this chapter, we start to follow a bunch of fetuses. Like, these kids are like 15 years old, acting like, I can't, you're 15. I'm so over reading about kids in diapers saving the world. You know, like, you're not Malala Yousafzai. Okay, Harry? Like, get over yourself, Katniss. I mean, I get it. I'm not the target audience anymore because I'm not 16 anymore, and I think this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into this aging everybody up, and I think I'm going to like it a lot more. You know what? Red Rising. Those books. I can't even with those books. He's like 12. I think I'm pretty good at eating my words. So now we're into the Inej chapter. We've gone from some, I don't know, noble person, rich person's place where he was torturing people to this like motley crew of street kids, and I thought she was 15, but she's 17. And also, this is my bike that I just picked up. That's why I safety first. Anyways, I was wrong. I thought they were all 15. She's 17. Maybe Kaz is older. I don't know yet. So I'll leave my words on that. So far, that bugs me less than I initially thought it did. I still feel like everybody being just great at everything is annoying, but I'm also not even a full hour into the book, so maybe I should just give it some time. Okay, so I just started chapter 3, and I'm back to Inej's perspective. And I figured out the other reason why I didn't make it through this book the first 2 times. I don't like prologues. So arbitrary. Like, I think as soon as I misunderstood how old the kids were. So they're 17, not 15. And once I realized that everybody that I met in the prologue essentially was dead, and that was just a device to introduce the Jour de Parem. Oh, I should catch you up on what's happening in the story in case you haven't read it. So basically, this ragtag group of street rats, I guess, is led by Kaz, this one super brilliant guy with no soul, and all he wants is money. And we meet all of them in a situation that is important, and Kaz gets kidnapped and offered a job, essentially, to get the man who created Jour de Parem or something, this drug that essentially amps up the abilities of Grisha, who are people who already have some kind of extra ability. And he's taking the job because he's being offered 30 million, whatever the currency in this world is. And yeah, now we're back to Inej's perspective. So I guess this is like a heist story. Like they're gonna steal a person, the person who created this drug because it's super powerful and it makes the Grisha like super powerful. Anyways, I'm doing a poor job of explaining, but basically I think that like I'm gonna like it. A third time is the charm. I think I might like this book. I hope I like it more than Shadow and Bone, because Shadow and Bone was garbage. I feel like the sound quality on this one is gonna be better or just different, because I'm about to film a video that I think is already up, my reaction to the Honest trailer for the Snyder Cut. But I just wanted to fill you guys in on where I was with Six of Crows. So I don't know what happened to me the first two times I tried to read this book, because I am enjoying it. There are a lot of perspectives and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like, they're being handled pretty well. I think we've had 4 perspective. I'm assuming there's going to be 6. And I also read the cover of the audiobook and it says that it's a heist book on the cover, so I really wasn't paying attention. But yeah, anyways, I'm enjoying it a lot more. Basically what's happened so far is Prue has broken somebody out who is from the kingdom that is holding the person they're going to get, the guy who created this drug. That guy who they broke out, Mateus, I think, is one of the perspectives we've had, and Nina is another perspective, and they have some history, which is like kind of interesting. My biggest disappointment with this book so far is that I don't really love any of the characters. There's one guy, I forget his name, we're in his perspective now, who I like, but there's nobody so far that I'm really in love with. So if I never finished this book right now, like, I'd be fine. I'm gonna finish it. I'm enjoying it enough for that, but I'm not like craving to know what happens next. I'm not in love with any of the characters. Like, I don't want to spend time with them, which is a little disappointing, but let's keep listening. Oh God, I was just thinking how much better written this was than Shadow and Bone, and how like it's a little tropey, but not as bad as Shadow and Bone. And so basically what's happened so far is like the crew is on their way to the ice court to snatch the guy who made the thing. And there was some trouble when they were leaving, and Inej, one of the 6, the main girl, kind of, I guess, was very badly injured. And we get like Kaz, the street smart, super horrible criminal kid with a heart of gold, and I'm over it! About 6 hours left. The crew has gone into their like ice palace place where they're going to grab the guy who made the thing. Something that always surprises me is when I hear mistakes in traditionally published audiobooks or books, and this one isn't even a mistake. It's like the narrators didn't communicate with each other, or the instructions that they got on their performances was inconsistent, because Mateus in the Inej perspective has an accent, but in the Mateus perspective does not. And I thought that was just like a weird thing. Story-wise, I feel the same. I'm like over the thief with a heart of gold, and I'm not in love with anybody. Okay, I've got about 3.5 hours left. We've hit the point where the plan has totally fallen apart. They're about to try and execute the new plan. They're all like, Inej has this moment of them thinking, or her, I guess, thinking, maybe we'll never see each other again. And I just don't care. I don't care. I don't love these characters, and it's a bummer. Everybody's talking about the show, saying that it's really good. I'm really excited to watch a show, and I just want to get through this book so I can watch a show and know the characters, but I don't even care about the characters. Okay. I just finished Six of Crows, and was definitely better than I thought it was going to be. I'm not sure what the barrier in my mind was the first couple times I tried to read it, but this time, I think, for me, the thing that I didn't like, I guess, like the thing that made me not love this book, is that I never fell in love with any of the characters. Like, they were all fine. Kaz, the main character, I guess one of the main characters, was just like a bad person that we're supposed to empathize with because he's had a hard life, you know, and I don't. I think that Mateus and Nina were the ones that I was most invested in, And the way the story like twists and turns and their heist goes south and they find another way and that goes south and they find another way, like that's really well written and cool and intricate. I just like didn't really care because I didn't love the characters. And I wanted to care more, and because I didn't love the characters and because I know that there's a sequel, I just felt like the stakes were a little lower. But overall, I mean, it was solid. I don't know if I'll read the next one, but I'm excited to watch the show Shadow and Bone. That's not true. I'm actually not excited to watch the show Shadow and Bone. I'm excited to finish watching the show Shadow and Bone so that I can watch the Alex Myers video about Shadow and Bone.